Hola guys, how are you? Ogfranit here, and we are back with another episode of Stitch Talk with Ogfra, where we talk about all things yarn and everything in between.
I'm your host, Karen Ruto Sapir, a crocheter, designer, entrepreneur, and the founder of Ogfranit. This podcast is where we unravel the beauty, the chaos, the creativity, and the business of yarn. Whether you need crochet or just love handmade things, this space is for you. Even if you want to learn also, this space is for you. We do not lock out anyone. As long as you're stitch curious, you're most welcome.
So today we are going to talk about creative blocks and burnouts. Yeah, we all have experienced that in one way or another. Sometimes you might be seated and you're just like, there's nothing, you don't have psych to create, you don't have psych to work, you don't have psych to do anything. It may be you have a creative block or a burnout. So first and foremost, you need to know what of the two do you have, because creative block and burnout are very different, but one may lead to another. Like burnout may lead to creative block. Yeah. So yeah, and vice versa. So you need to know whether it's a creative block or a burnout. So how do you know that? Yeah. The difference between a creative block and a burnout. Creative block, you have the energy, but you just can't seem to get you can't seem to design, you can't seem to, just get something going. You can't seem to like come up with creative ideas. You can't seem to just, start something. Yeah. That's how you know you have a creative block. Like your brain is basically empty and you're trying to think, but the thinking is not happening. You're trying to, create, but the creating is not happening. You're having a creative block. It is not wrong. It's normal. Our brains also need time to, relax. It's been creating over and over again. It's been thinking over and over again. So you need to rest and you need to relax and you need to involve your mind in other activities that do not take a lot of energy from it. So for example, you've been designing all week, you've been working all week, your brain has been working non-stop. You need to take your brain out of that environment and go into an environment that is more relaxing to your brain. For me, I'd go for brunch with my girls, or I'll just go for brunch and relax. I'd go for bowling, or I'd go watch a movie in the cinema, or I'll go for a walk in a forest, or I'll go bike cycling, something that doesn't need a lot of my brain cells, okay? So if you have a creative block, you just need to take your brain out of that scenario, take it into another scenario that is less taxing for the brain. Yeah. Burnout, on the other hand, you're tired. Your body is saying no more. Your body is striking and your body is falling apart because you've been working it too much. That's called burnout. You've been transniting, crocheting, you've been taking orders left, right, center, north, south, west, east. You've been working overtime. You've been sleeping less hours. You're sleeping 2 hours instead of sleeping 8 hours. Now that is burnout. And the trick for burnout is, first and foremost, what I usually do is I usually tell myself there are some days I won't crochet or knit. Every Sunday I'll just say I'm not knitting or crocheting, so I'll sleep in. Instead of waking up at 8 as usual, I will just sleep in and wake up at 10, 11. Just relax your body, wake up, stretch a bit, let that sun hit you a bit. Take make yourself some coffee, morning coffee, to just wake you up. After that, have a slow day where you're not rushing to achieve something, where you're not rushing to do A, B, C, and D. You're just taking your time to, let the day go where it wants to go. Yeah. So that is what I do on Sundays, to just relax. But the days that on Sundays I have a lot of work to do, or maybe I have classes to reach to, or I have stuff to do, what I'll do is spread out my relaxing days. So I'll say since my group classes are usually on Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays, which in that case, I need to wake up early, and my days also end up very late because I have classes up to 6 p.m. I will say on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays, I'll wake up not earlier than 10. Yeah, so that I spread out my rest days on Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesdays. Yeah, and then I will just, relax, take some time and relax. One day of the week, I will just take myself out somewhere and just sit and relax and do nothing. Yeah, listen to music or watch movies. You just take a period of time and watch movies. So if you spread out your rest days over the whole week, you don't get a chance, your body doesn't get a chance to have burnout. Yeah, you are having little pockets of rest here and there. That way you're able to have like a consistent energy, and your body is strong enough to like move around, strong enough to do your daily activities. So those are options you can have, like at least in every week, have time to rest, or have a day to just rest. Yeah, or spread the rest in between the weeks. Yeah, so that's basically what I do. And by the way, a lot of people think that since crochet is a hobby and it's a therapy, that you cannot get tired out of it. Guys, probably a crocheter will get tired more than someone who's going out in the office. Why? Because it takes your brain, it takes your body, your hands are constantly moving, your brain is constantly thinking and counting stitches and ensuring you're not missing a stitch or skipping a stitch or messing up the color work and stuff like that. So it's actually a lot of work. So it's up to you to ensure that it does not move from being something therapeutic to being like a job. That's why you need to spread out your rest days, and you need to relax and be in a mental state that allows you to relax. Yeah. Also, a way to ensure this is not a problem is be as flexible as possible to refuse orders that are gonna be problematic. And orders that are gonna be problematic from the word go. So don't allow yourself to be sucked into an order that is gonna be problematic. If someone is not willing to wait, don't have it, because you're gonna have a stressful week or two trying to fulfill an order that you know very well you cannot fulfill on that time, and the client has refused the time that you gave them. Wachana nayo. So don't allow your creative space to be tainted by external forces. Yeah. Okay, why do makers hit these walls? I think I've talked about it already. Pressure from orders, I've just mentioned that right now. Perfectionism, I'm not a perfectionist, so I don't relate. I'm not the other perfectionists in the room. I don't know how to sort that issue. Constant output for social media and self-comparison. Yes, we will have to mention this. Hapo kwa perfectionism, I don't relate, because I'm the kind of person who usually gives their best to something, and I usually feel like things that do not go the way I wanted them to go were meant to not go the way I wanted them to go. And I usually let go and relax. Yeah. So for example, if I mess up in row 12 and I find it out when I'm in row 82, I am not gonna unravel the 82 rows because of one mistake. I'll find out another way to solve that mistake without throwing my work, my hours and hours of work to the drain. So I understand that there are people who are perfectionists, and there's someone who will actually unravel those 82 rows. And as you're unraveling those 82 rows, you're giving yourself more pressure. Why? Because you'll have to now cover up for the time you wasted by maybe sleeping at 1 a.m. or sleeping late or not sleeping at all. And then after you do that for like 1, 2, 3 times, you'll start experiencing burnout. And once you experience burnout, you're gonna experience creator's block, because your body is tired. It's not, your brain is not serving you, or it's not in a capacity or state to serve you. So you'll figure out that you're experiencing all these things at once, and you're like, Squeeze yet as in a psych. I don't have psych to create. I don't have time to create, and then it's because of that. So I don't. Maybe someone who is more professional in this field can comment down below on how perfectionism can be sorted. But as per now, that's the much I can give. Now, we've mentioned constant output for social media. Okay, constant output for social media can also cause burnout, yeah, or creator's block. When you set yourself up for failure, when you set up unachievable goals or calendars that do not make sense based off of your schedule. I've talked about this before. I've talked about this in a previous episode, I think episode 6 or 5. So you need to set up realistic goals. Set up realistic goals in terms of social media so that you don't get messed up. I've said this and I've said it again and again. Please, if you're making long form content, give yourself realistic schedules and realistic systems. There's no problem with posting once a month. There's a creator I follow. She's amazingly Grace. I think she usually posts on YouTube once a month or twice a month. I think once or twice a month, and she has like 370 something subscribers, if I'm not wrong. Either that or Instagram, or 100 and something on either YouTube or Instagram. Yeah, she's such a big creator, but she only posts like once a month, or I think twice in a month. Because if I look at her videos, I see the latest is like it was posted a few hours ago. The previous one was posted 4 weeks ago. Yeah, so it is okay to do that, because if you do that and that works for your schedule, you'll be able to be consistent. The algorithm notices that you posted last month, you posted this month, you posted next month, you posted, yeah. So we know your schedule. Your followers also know when you're gonna post. So that is important. If you have more time like me and you're able to post once every week, please do. And since I've just started the podcast, I need to be as consistent as possible just to ensure the traction is going. Then once I've grown and I'm bigger and I have a lot of followers and stuff, and I'm busier, I can now be able to say, okay, let me be posting once in 2 weeks or once in a month. Yeah. So it depends on you, what level of creator you are at the moment and what type of content you create. There's some content that needs a lot of finances, say travel content. Travel content, you cannot be posting every week at your nimeenda Malaysia this week, next week niko Dubai next week, unless you have the finances and the resources for it. If you have a private jet and you can travel freely, if you have a crew that will be filming you, you don't even need to think about editing, whatever. Well and good, that's possible. But if you're just starting and you're doing travel vlogs, maybe you're able to travel once a month, then that's okay. Post once a month on YouTube, yeah? And short form content, you can be breaking them down and posting them. So too much like unrealistic goals for social media content will give you burnout, and it will cause creators block. Yeah, if you give yourself unrealistic goals. Yeah. Another thing, self-comparison. Yeah. You are not other creators. You are you. And however you choose to create and however you choose to make stuff is all up to you. No one says you have to create like crochet, so and so, knit, so and so. You can look up to them, but don't try to be them. You can never be them. Yeah. So if I want to start being Enida, or I want to start being Yan's design, I will burn out, because the level of the patterns that girl is releasing every week is crazy. Like, you look at her page today, she has posted this. 3 days later, you find like 10, 12 more posts have been posted. That means she posted like 3 posts per day. You'll find that out of those 11 posts, 2 are tester calls of different design. And you're like, when does this girl sleep? But now this girl has been at it for a very long time. Probably she has people in the background who help her I'm not saying there are. Even if she's doing it alone, probably she's putting a lot of work on it, and probably this is 100% what she does. So I can't compare myself with her because I have other things that I'm doing, like teaching and stuff like that. So for her, you may find that she's crocheting, selling patterns full time. She's uploading things on her website full time. So you see, it's a bit different, and I cannot really give myself that much pressure of releasing patterns every day. And her, she has the practice of writing patterns. I don't have that much practice of writing patterns, so it will be a bit difficult for me or slower for me. So I need to be patient with myself and learn from her, but take my time in my own pace. Okay? Signs you're burning out. You're just not happy. Umejam too. You're just like angry at people. You don't want to create. You're procrastinating. You're supposed to do 10 rows today. All of a sudden umesema, let me know. Signs you are burning out. Loss of joy. You don't have joy. You're procrastinating. You're tired. You're irritated, and you're avoiding your projects. You see a project there, you turn this way. You see a project there, you're turning this. Those are signs you're burning out, and I've already told you how you can sort that out. Ways to reflect and recharge. Have mindful breaks. Like, just carry your swimming costume, go swim somewhere and relax. Go sit in a quiet, relaxing place where birds are chirping and you're just relaxing. Yeah, do that. Go and find an exhibition space or a museum and just walk and see other creatives work. Sleep. 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 Another thing, change the projects that you're doing. So for example, if I were feeling irritated and I'm working on my 2 skirts, I can change and go back to my color work project. Yeah, just switch things up a bit. Maybe your brain is just bored with what you're doing and it wants something different. Yeah, so resting is very important. Even as a crochet or knitter, you might think it's not taking too much of you, but trust you me, it is taking too much of you if you're doing it the wrong way. Yeah. Creating long-term balance building and healthy routines, pacing your project and protecting creativity from becoming any work. That is the journey, and that's how you'll be able to ensure your creative process is very consistent. Create a long-term balance. Long-term balance, it means have a schedule that strictly is followed by you, that you have said, siku flani flani, I am resting, I am taking a walk, I am going out to do things that are not related to crochet and knitting. Especially if you're knitting and crocheting full time, you need to make those decisions and you need to have a long-term strategy that ensures you're not burning out, that ensures you're not, stressed, that ensures you're not, doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing, that ensures you're not taking orders that you're not supposed to be taking. Have rules around how you take orders. Have rules around how you take orders. Number one, I usually have a rule of I cannot give you a discount that is not gonna give me satisfaction. Yeah, if I'm charging you 10K and you want a discount, the only discount that I can give you, the maximum discount I can give you is 500 shillings. That's it. Past that, I'm not giving you any discount, because past that itakuwa sasa inakula into my profit and my work's time. So I'll just tell you, look for someone else. You might look at me and be like, yani 500 peke ndo inakufanya lose job. I'll be like, I'll hate myself when I give you a discount of 2,000 shillings, you pay me 8K instead of 10K, and after I finish that job, I'll just feel bad. I'll be like, that 2K would have taken me for pedicure and manicure. Like you'll have those two regrets that will haunt you later, and that will be bad for you. So have rules around those. No matter how petty they are, have rules around that. Have rules around the treatment you'll accept from clients. Have rules around, if you're a client and you insult me, I am dropping your job. It doesn't matter how much money you're giving me, I'm dropping your job. Have rules around how you treat people. If someone wants the refunds, have rules around those, because those are the things that will give you stress. Yeah. Have rules around how you apologize if you're the one who is in the wrong. Have rules around what you cannot do. For example, if you've made something and someone doesn't like it anymore, have rules around that. Yeah. Have rules that govern your peace of mind, that govern your creativity, that govern like your whole creative process, just to ensure that you don't get burnt out, you don't get creative block, because once you're stressed as a creator, your creative journey is affected in a very huge way. Yeah. So ensure you have that sorted. And yeah, I can see our time is up, and we've finished talking about creative blocks and burnouts in a crafting world. So feel free to comment down below and tell me, what was the worst burnout experience you've ever had? Also comment down below and tell me, what was the worst creative block you ever had? Did you have like a photo shoot coming up and you had nothing in your head? Did and tell me, what boundaries have you set as a creator or a creative or a knitter or a crocheter to govern your whole creative space and to ensure you avoid burnout and to ensure you avoid creative block. So that was episode 7. Ogfrenits here, and kindly follow us on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I'm really excited about it. Yeah, follow, share, comment, show us some love, because we want to grow and really be able to put out as much content as possible. In the crochet and knitting industry, especially in Kenya, it is growing, and we need to be able to have resources to guide us. That's why we're doing this podcast, yeah, so that you have a reference point. If you're a starting crocheter, if you're a business lady or a business gentleman, and you're just starting in the field of knitting and crochet, this podcast will be there